Happy holidays, everybody! It is that time in Gems of War where we all celebrate all the fun things we've done this year, and we also have a Gnome weekend, and we've also got new stuff in the game. So let's dive right the heck in, and happy holidays to you and yours, from yours truly. Let's go! For the event this week for the PC, mobile, Xbox, PlayStation folks, we've got ourselves an invasion. It's an invasion with Urska troops, arguably some of the worst troops in the world. This is the team that I plan on using as I run on through, which is making use of the new dude. New dude is doing 35 damage to an enemy boosted by enraged allies, therefore I am putting a person who enrages everybody on the team on 4/5s with a mixed weapon. You could theoretically run this team this way. If you wanted to, this would allow you to use the Siegebreaker troops to actually do skull damage to all the towers once they get up there. However, I'm thinking I'm just going to run it this way since I just kinda want to do that. I like to protect my top person so I have all the mana in the world that I would need. I suspect these people will die relatively quickly if they're not underneath this one. However, both of them are totally viable, so run it this way, run it this way. Either way, you'll be good to go. In the shop this time around, there's a new weapon. It is the... This weapon is literally exactly like Razorclaw, pretty much identically. It's using the exact same mana color in red, it's just blue as well. The art is kinda meh, but then it creates a mix of green and brown for each Urska ally. So you could use this weapon if you so choose, however I am not choosing to. As far as other teams you could use, this is the one that I just showed. However, you could also use a Mang version of this. The reason why all of these teams are bad is that the Urska troops are so bad. So this is using an exploder who's only exploding 2. This is as good as it gets as far as exploders go. This is also creating an explosion and then creating skulls on top of that, and then hopefully you get some mana for Black Bjorn down here. So this is all not the best team on the planet, admittedly, but if you are a lower level person that doesn't have tons of stuff, you could use that team if you so choose. In the Glory Shop, the new troop that we have access to is Possessed Urska. Possessed Urska, since he's an Urska, totally sucks. So this dude explodes a gem, does some damage, and then curses people. Yay for that, I guess. He doesn't really do anything interesting here either. This chance to summon an ancient horror is just whatever. You know, it's like you're not going to use the troop, so it doesn't really matter. Art's cool. I'll give you the art. The spell art is cool too. But the troop in general is a dud, but get your arcanes and enjoy your life. In the event keys this time around, it is Urskaya, as I've said before. Maybe when we sort by Urskaya, it's gonna be really cool, and there's gonna be all these really cool bear troops in it. Bears are awesome, right? So why wouldn't there be amazing troops? But unfortunately, literally everything in here is a total waste of time, total piece of Can't believe that they even have these things in here. Damn pieces of goddamn. God, I hate them. So you can go ahead and save all those event keys. Congratulations to you. You get to save all your stuff. In the Soul Forge this time around, as far as troops go, we've got No, never mind. We've got Vashdagon, who's kinda meh. You can use him for explore fights if you want. His cursing people on brown mana matches is useful, so I won't say he's totally useless. Although scaling him damage-wise is not all that useful. Jotner is also in there. Jotner is also kind of fun to use, but not necessarily the highest priority craft either. So I wouldn't really say any of these are super craftable this week, so you can kind of save your resources there too. And then in here, Razorclaw is available if you don't think you're happy enough with Axe of the North. These two weapons are literally 100% interchangeable for the most part, so don't feel like you need to craft this, but if you're a collector, go on ahead and craft it if you so choose. But then we get to jump into the spoilers section. Ooh, the spoilers. In the spoilers this time around for the Faction Assault, we've got ourselves a Crypt Keepers Faction Assault. So for this, I like to use this team. It's Yasmine's Pride, who's boosting Yao and Ketras' mana, and then, well, damage, I should say, not mana, it's damage. And then Possessed King's here to just make it all happy. So this team can blam through everything. This is useful at the early levels and the high levels, so this is great all the way through. If you're trying to level it up to 500, you can do it with that. On Wednesday, we're getting ourselves a pet rescue. It's the Holiday Shrub. Look at it. Look at it. Its little bandolier and its little cuteness. Ooh. Oh, it's so good. And then on Thursday, we get ourselves a class event. It is for the Sentinel class. Sentinel class is an amazing class, but the event is gonna totally suck. So for folks that are on the ledge here, if you're not sure if you want to level up your Sentinel, so this barriering things at the start of your turn isn't the best, it's not the worst, but it is there. Reducing skulls is obviously cool, getting 3 stats if you're in the first position, also not the worst. But as far as the talent trees go, this is actually where they get kind of fun. So you can inflict stun when they do damage to you, you also start the fight with a barrier, your skull damage is pumped up by your armor, so that's kind of fun. You get barriers on browns, you can banish all debuffs if you want, and you can become immune to most stuff. So this class is generally an event style class that is super tanky and defensive. If you are looking to level up your Sentinel, the teams that I've created that would be helpful for you would be this one, which is basically just using Razorclaw to get Doomclaw mana, and then everyone else in between is more or less just there for fun. But Doomclaw is the one that you really want. Admittedly, I'd probably even run it like that, because Doomclaw is the only one you care about casting as far as all this is concerned. But basically, this is just going to be do damage, use Moonclaw, and hope you win. So that's one version of that team. The other version of that team doesn't even exist because I couldn't make one. If you're trying to make this team with like a Mang or something, or a Trickster's Shot, or an Earth Sphere, you're going to have a really hard time. So I pray for you if you do not have the correct stuff, but unfortunately, that is going to be a problem for you. But aside from that, on Friday, it's time. It's everybody's favorite time to destroy all of these people. These people are going to be showing up all weekend starting on Friday, so if you feel like doing your explore spam for medals, there is no better time to do it than this weekend. You're gonna have a grand old time just beating the crap out of these people, getting your explore medals and tokens and badges and all that good stuff, and just watching these people die over and over and over again. It'll be so glorious. And then on top of that, make sure you pay attention to the holiday calendar. On Friday, on the holiday, on the 25th, there's going to be a free thing, so make sure you grab that. And on New Year's, there's going to be another free thing, so make sure you grab that. But I'll tell you about that one next week. But this week, you worry about this one, free thing. But that is everything for you guys. Let's jump on over to the Switchy Switches. Happy holidays to you, my Switch folks. For you, it is the Tower of Doom event, restricted by yellow color. The weapon that's in there is kinda bad, so if we look at the statue weapon that's available, it is doing this whole give life to people and then give mana to other people. It is unfortunately not very good. I do recommend you purchase the weapon, make sure you get the tiers up to the weapon, but don't invest any of your actual scrolls into the weapon to upgrade it. I would much rather save those for future weapons that are going to require those 4 scrolls, so save your scrolls, don't really invest into this weapon just yet, because it is not good currently. If you are looking to smash through the tower though, I've got a handful of teams you could use. The first one is taking advantage of the fact that Gaard's avatar does extra damage boosted by his armor, so we've got a weapon that gives him a ton of armor, and we've got 2 troops that give both of these people mana. So this team should be able to smash on through all the way through. This other team is also extremely useful. I'd say that this team is arguably more fun, but this is using Mang and then just a crap ton of skull converters. So you just steal armor from one dude, turn it into attack, and then just blam the crap out of everybody. This team will probably be more fun, more quick, but the other team might be a little more safe. And then if you're a lower level player, this team is pretty much the same idea as the one I showed before, but we're using a Mang here to get yourself a ton of attack. We've got 2 empowered converters, well, 1 empowered converter and then just another converter to get mana for your Mang, and then this will be your skull converter down here. So if you need to force skulls onto the board, Apophysis will help you get that done. But that's going to be your Tower of Doom event. As far as the event keys this time around for you guys, it is going to be Glacial Peaks. Glacial Peaks is kind of an interesting kingdom. There's a lot of interesting troops kind of sitting in there, but nothing like wild and out of control. So if we look at the Glacial Peak troops that are available to us, the only 2 that I'd really point your attention to would be Scotty. Scotty is the mythic. Scotty is not the best mythic on the planet, but there's some interesting things about her. So she creates an ice storm at the start of every turn, which is very useful. She does gain 1 magic whenever an ally casts a spell. You'll see this in pretty much all of the Glacial Peaks troops. But then she's also freezing and mana burning the first 2 people and then flipping them to the back, and then also summoning a Queen Mab just for kicks. So I would not recommend you open up event keys just to get Scotty, but if you happen to get her, it's not the worst thing you can get. But Queen Mab is definitely the MVP of this kingdom. She is mana burning everybody on the board, and if there's 13 or more blue gems, you get an extra turn. And then she's also just freezing people on 4/5s. So Queen Mab is absolutely the best. She's so awesome that even little ravens are attracted to her. She's like the anti-Disney princess. Super amazing. So Queen Mab would be someone that you should definitely try and get, but Scotty not so much. Beyond all of that, the new troop that you guys got access to is Snow Panther. Snow Panther is this dude. So he's freezing an enemy, creating 6 blues boosted by frozen enemies ×3. So if you happen to have a bunch of people frozen, this will actually be a pretty decent mana converter, or creator, I should say. As long as 1 person is frozen, this will actually do 9 blue gems, which is pretty cool. And if 2 people are, it's 12, so that's immediately into like pretty damn good territory. It does start with 50% mana and is stealthy, so it's not awful. Admittedly, if you're trying to create a bunch of blue, this won't be the first thing you reach for, but it is still pretty fun. So that troop's in the glory shop. Make sure you pick on up that thing. But that is everything in that normal section. Into the Soulforge area, we've got a couple things we've got to talk about. So Gaard's avatar, as I mentioned before in the team previously, is going to be available. He isn't really a high priority craft. However, if you do have a lot of other mythics and you are just interested in having more of an event style mythic that pairs up really nicely with that Shield of Urskaya, Gaard's avatar is in there, and since he's doing damage boosted by all the armor, he is very viable for event stuff like that he fits into. Next that's in there is Infernus. Infernus is absolutely awesome, especially if you are running a class that has triple skull damage on burning enemies. This whole thing will make Infernus your absolute best friend on the planet. He does some damage, he explodes the board. It is pretty cool from a spell effect perspective. His loot potential is pretty darn nice, his damage output is pretty darn nice. So Infernus would definitely be the highest priority craft as far as the Soulforge is concerned. As far as the weapons that are available to craft, there is actually an interesting one. So the glacial crystal that's available is creating a mix of blue and purple. So if you do happen to have Scotty and Queen Mab, this weapon and the Frost Mage class, this will actually create a crap ton of mana. So this weapon isn't the worst thing, it's not the best thing, but it's in there. You can craft it. Feel free. But that is everything in the regular section. Let's jump on to the spoilers section. Spoilers. In the spoilers for you guys, it is a faction assault on Tuesday. Faction assault is for the Hall of Guardians. Hall of Guardians, you can use this team if you want to smash on through. I'll just say that if you are going to use this team, then please make sure that you're purchasing tiers. This team will not work all that well unless you have a bunch of tiers, so that way you can have potions, so you have enchant and explodes at the start and all that cool stuff. So if you have those, use this team. If not, you can literally use pretty much the same exact teams that I posted before in the Tower of Doom fight, since those will also work in here. All of those will be able to run through this Hall of Guardians, so feel free to do that on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you're getting a little Prancer boy. Prancer, look at it. Oh, wow. Super cute. Want to squeeze those little cheeks and honk that nose? Oh, yeah. But then on Thursday, you get yourselves a class event for the Frost Mage. Frost Mage class is super great, so please make sure you invest some into this. As far as the teams you can use, this is the first one. This is taking advantage of Jar of Eyes and the constant Ice Storm that you're going to be having. And then you're just using Queen Mab and Scotty for all your damage. So as long as people aren't immune to mana burn, this team will basically just shred everybody. You'll never let go of your turn. You can summon more Queen Mabs if you so choose. This Snow Guardian can even make more mana, so that's kind of fun. That's one team you could use. And if you don't have all the cool stuff, you could just try and use this team, which is just trying to do as much as you can with what you got. So this team will be available for you as well if you're trying to smash on through that event on Thursday. But then on Friday, it is time for you guys to punch a lot of these people in the face. So if you don't like the way that these people look, I've got great news for you. You are going to be able to slay all of these people this weekend, starting on Friday. And hopefully you can get yourself some vault keys, some fun little resources. All of these people will be available in PvP and Explore mode, so destroy the crap out of these people and enjoy your life. Beyond all of that, make sure you look at the holiday calendar, because in the holiday calendar you've got yourself a free thing coming up on the 25th, so snag that for sure. And then of course there's another one on New Year's, but I'll tell you about that next week. But that is everything for you guys. Let's take it to the outro. Well, there you have it. Everything you need to worry about this week. I did want to give a special shout out to everyone in my guild family. Both of our guilds that are in the high levels of Guild Wars actually made it into bracket 1 this time, so I was fortunate enough to get to the Paragon, and both of our guilds were fortunate enough to get into bracket 1, so I'll have a very exciting Guild Wars next month for all of you. But beyond all of that, I just wish you guys seriously a awesome holiday time. I hope you have a great time with your friends and your family. I've been having an amazing time hanging out with all of you guys all year, and of course we'll have many cool things to do in the future. But that is all I got for you guys. Enjoy your lives. I will see you in the next one.